In this video, I'll show you how to make a lush planted aquarium for some stunning aquatic creatures. Let's get straight into the build. I've got this 30cm cube aquarium and I've already installed a white background on the back. As for the lighting, I've got this Twinstar 300S aquarium light which was kindly sponsored by Twinstar. I'll put all the specs up on screen now. One thing I immediately like about this light is how wide it is. In the past, I've struggled with some lights not reaching the front or back of the tank just because they're so narrow. I'll talk more about its features later on, but for now let's start making this aquascape. Before pouring in the substrate, I'm going to place in these mesh bags that are filled with crushed lava rock. These will help build up some height towards the back of the tank as I don't have too much substrate to hand. I've got a load of aqua soil from old setups that I've saved. It's still perfectly good to use, but it may be lacking in nutrients. I'll solve that problem shortly. Somehow I always do this, but I've underestimated the amount of aqua soil I have and I don't really need the mesh bags of lava rock underneath. I think in this tank a thicker layer of aqua soil is going to be more beneficial for the plants. Now a good amount of aqua soil is in, I'm using my hand to slope it up towards the back of the tank. Before moving on, I need to give this base layer of substrate a bit of a nutrient boost. As I mentioned, it's old substrate that's been in a previous setup where most of the nutrients would have been used up by the plants. I've opened up some root tab capsules and I'm simply spreading them out over the top of the aqua soil. I can then cap it off with even more substrate followed by a fine layer of fresh aqua soil. I've gradually sloped it up and it's got some good depth which the plants would appreciate. Now let's move on to the hardscape. I saw this really cool piece of driftwood in my local fish shop and it gave me an instant idea as soon as I saw it. The scape I've got in mind is to use this as an old tree stump that is slowly being taken back by nature. To complement the wood, I've got some really nice pieces of this detailed rock known as geostone. I think its lighter colour will be a really nice contrast to the wood. I've got about 5 kilograms of this rock, which obviously won't all be going inside, but it does mean I've got a really good selection to choose from. I'm trying not to take up too much space with the rocks as I want there to be plenty of room for the plants. It can be quite tricky and time consuming to find the right pieces that fit and look good together, but that's all part of the fun. Piece by piece, the scape is starting to come together. Before scaping, I did cut off a branch from the driftwood just to get it fitting inside the tank. I'm going to use it to add a bit more detail and interest to the stump of the tree. This certainly isn't a difficult hardscape, but I really do love how it's turned out. It's always super rewarding to see the idea you had in your head start to take shape. Left as it is, the wood is definitely going to float as soon as the tank is full. The easy solution to this is to use some superglue and tissue to lock the wood to the stone. I'm simply wedging some tissue between the contact points and then soaking it in some liquid type superglue. It dries in no time and forms a strong bond which is 100% aquarium safe. I'll repeat the same process for all the rocks that are in contact with the wood throughout the tank. Now the driftwood is anchored down, I can start bringing this scape to life with plants. I don't know about you, but I think a hairgrass carpet would suit this scape really well. 2 pots can go a long way, so I think that'll be more than enough. This is just 1 pot's worth that I've separated into loads of small sections. I personally find it easier to plant in wet substrate, so I'm giving it a good spray down. I can now take some long tweezers and start filling out the foreground. I'll roughly space them evenly apart and they should form a dense carpet in no time at all. I should mention I'll have a list with all the plants and materials used in this build in the description below along with some links. Now the hairgrass is in, I can add some larger plants in the mid-ground. I've got a few different species of crypts which I think will look really nice just behind some of the geostones. I like to use the tweezers to dig a small hole that I can then plant them down into. At the moment they've got their immersed grown leaves and they will change slightly as they transition into their submersed growth. This may also mean that its current leaves will melt away and die off before it regrows new ones. This is some more hairgrass, but it's obviously much taller than the carpet. I'm going to plant this just behind the crypts. Once it grows in, I really think this plant will make the scape pop. Just behind the wood and rock, I'm going to plant some Rotala bonsai. I've never used this plant before, but I'm hoping it'll add some nice variety to the planting. As for the background plant, I've got a ton of these Rotala HR cuttings from another setup. In good lighting, it turns a really nice vibrant red. I'll let these stems grow nice and tall to fill out the background. A light spray of water every now and then keeps the plants from drying out. To add some more detail and interest to the planting, I've got some Bucephalandra and Anubias. These plants are epiphytes, so I can simply wedge them in gaps and cracks between the wood and rocks. I'm planting them in a way to look like plants that have sprouted out this dead tree stump. Higher up on the driftwood, I'm planting some Hygrophila. On the right side, there's no gaps to wedge it into, so I'm going to use some gel type superglue to mount it to the wood. Bit of a sidetrack, but I've got an interesting idea that I'd love to hear your thoughts on. I'm thinking of making a comparison style video where I set up two tanks with identical planting, but the only difference is I fill one up with water and let the other grow terrestrially. I think it will be really interesting to see the difference between the submersed and immersed growth, as well as the different growth speed and growth habits. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to see. A small piece of bubble wrap helps disperse the water and stops it from uprooting the plants. Now I can slowly fill the tank up with dechlorinated tap water. With the tank full up, there's still a few things I need to do before leaving it to grow in and introducing the creatures. First off is the filter. I'm using a small hang-on back filter which is arguably undersized for this tank. I can get away with this as the dense planting would do the majority of the filtration. Next is the CO2. All the plants in this setup can grow without it, but they will grow slower and may not be as vibrant. Now before letting the tank grow in, let's talk a little bit more about the light. There are some really useful features that can be taken advantage of to ensure that the tank grows in healthy and strong and algae free. It has this small controller with an on-off button, a timer and a dimmer. The reason this is so useful is because if I had the light on full brightness right away, there's a high chance I'm going to run into algae issues. I'll have the light on 50% power on day one and slowly turn it up every few weeks as the plants grow and establish. The built-in timer is also really handy as it keeps the photo period consistent, which is essential for healthy plant growth. There's a link in the description where you can grab this light, and once again a massive thank you for Twinstar for making this build possible. I can't wait to see this tank grow in, so let's leave it to it. It's been just over 2 weeks since I set up this tank, and I'm glad to say that it's doing really well. The plants are growing in really nicely and there's pretty much no algae to be seen, which is great. I have added a few floating plants to the surface, but I'm not sure if I'll keep them long term. The hairgrass has started to fill out the foreground nicely, but one plant that has struggled is the Hygrophila. It melted right back to the rhizome, but I'm glad to say that there's new growth on the way. Now I think it's about time we get the first inhabitants inside the tank. These are Amano shrimp. They will get bigger than this and they'll help keep the tank clean and algae free. Next it will be time for the fish, but I'm going to let the tank grow in a little bit more first. The scape is now over a month old and I'm really happy with how it's established. The only change I made since the last update is trim the Rotala and replant it as it grew right to the surface. Now let's get the fish into their new home. For the fish, I decided on a small group of male Endler guppies. They might not be everyone's first choice, but I love their vibrant colours and the fact that they're so active throughout the tank. As for the plants, you can clearly see just how well they've grown in and established in only 43 days. There's not a spot of algae in sight, which I'm sure the Amano shrimp have got something to do with. These tiny snails are also helping keeping the glass nice and clean. This aquarium has truly been a joy to keep in the past month or so, and it's only going to get better and better as it continues to grow in and evolve. Be sure to subscribe as I've got plenty more exciting builds in the works and you're not going to want to miss them. As always, thank you for watching.